I will not deny, I hold Square Enix very close to my chest, alright? There's a lot of games of theirs that they've made, they've published, that I've played all throughout the years. There are a lot of franchises back in the day that are likely never ever going to come back. Like Parasite Eve, for example, after they butchered the entire franchise with the PSP exclusive The Third Birthday. Lest we forget, among other things. But also in addition to that, they did also publish Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy, of course, which are two ginormous franchises that I absolutely love. Even if the franchise does get bad, like, I'm still willing to sit through a few bad games and play through a mediocre to good game every now and again, hoping that one day they'll be able to recapture the greatness that was Final Fantasy IX, in my opinion, because everyone else's opinion sucks ass and can probably fall over into a ditch, probably. 14 did a really good job though. I think they got pretty damn close. 15 definitely not. 16 also no. I thought 16 was pretty good. But anyway, moving on from that, Square Enix has actually been cutting themselves down and has actually in the past couple of years been selling off their Western studios. Stuff like Square Enix Montreal, you've got IDOS, you've got the guys who made... No, actually, I think that was IDOS. Avalanche, so the guys who made Just Cause. IDOS, which I think are the guys who made... what's it called? Deus Ex. And then you've got the guys who... Crystal Dynamics, the guys who made Tomb Raider. All of these guys were just being sold out by Square Enix, basically. And basically, they're kind of really doing a lot of restructuring on the Western front. I feel like they're very happy with the Japanese studios at the moment. I think it's very much the same idea of like the Chinese developing conglomerates basically letting go of the Western studios and basically focusing on their homegrown Chinese studios, since games like Black Myth Wukong have done incredibly well in that regard. So it's interesting to see where things are going to go for the future of Square Enix, since not only are they trying to cut down, but they're also trying to develop less in the form of like various stuff. So basically, I think that's what Takashi Kiryu is currently sort of up against. So in a video call to staff outside of its home country of Japan, including those based in Europe and America, Square Enix president Takashi Kiryu said that the company was implementing overseas structural reform to create a more lean and agile business abroad. Hence that whole cutting down business I was talking about earlier. And it was an all-hands meeting, which is crazy to think about. This video is going to come out almost like a week after the actual meeting has taken place, so it's probably good to know that this is actually an older story, but I figured it was worth still touching on regardless. Square Enix will be implementing a fundamental restructuring of the overseas publishing organization, Kiryu said. Details of the restructure will be shared at a later date, staff were told. However, it confirmed roles would be cut and employees left would be required to spend more time working in the office, which is always a fun thing to hear. Employees affected by the cuts would be informed on Thursday. Staff on the video call were told. As typically for company layoffs, no headcount figures were shared during the call, VGC was told. So this is obviously, I'm reading off of VGC right now. However, one person affected in Europe said that nearly 140 people were told they were at risk in the London office alone. That includes staff across IT, marketing, publishing, sales, QA, business planning, and more. And I feel bad for the IT guys, because trust me, IT ain't easy when you have to like manage so many different structural areas, so to speak. Anyway, moving on. Square Enix Europe's entire collective, external studios development and brand marketing, and Japanese comm support teams have been told that they're at risk, VGC understands. Oh my god, it is very hard to read today. What the heck is going on in my head? But yes, UK employment law means that affected employees are required to enter a period of consultation before any layoffs are confirmed. Square Enix hopes to make an annual cost saving of over 3 billion yen, which is about $90.6 million. And so it very much feels like they're cutting down numbers in order to try and save money, which ultimately at the end of the day is kind of the core of it. And I feel like that's certainly something that a lot of people are going to be talking about and bringing up regardless. But either way, I am kind of concerned about some of the Western studios. Again, they don't make awful games, and they don't make games that I'm necessarily interested in. It's just that it's interesting how I'm seeing that reflection from the Chinese development side, like I said, with Tencent, and there's another massive company as well that I can't think of the name of immediately off the top of my head, but Tencent is the first one that came up. With the fact that Chinese games are doing incredibly well at the moment, and then you've got stuff like the Japanese studios who are like, we'll keep our development in Japan, we're gonna make games for the Japanese audience, and therefore be able to keep our relative numbers in check. Because remember, whenever Square Enix releases a game and they talk to their investors, they're going to be telling them, hey, we basically ended up overestimating the actual cost, and basically the numbers are going to be way lower than what we expected them to be, because Square Enix has these insanely lofty expectations when it comes to sales numbers that I feel like just cannot even really, like, I just cannot shake my head enough thinking why Square would think that a game like The Avengers was going to sell a lot, especially since it's a live service game, among other things. That being said, though, it's the second year Square Enix has made staff cuts across its American and European arms. According to a person on Thursday's call, Kiryu claimed that last year's overseas restructuring hadn't worked. Oh boy, imagine if this restructure also doesn't work. I wonder about that. Yeah, that's a good way of thinking about it. VGC has reached out to Square Enix for comment. I doubt they're going to come back to VGC at all. But yeah, Thursday's layoffs announcement arrive on the same day that Square Enix shares its intention to have the majority of its QA and debugging work be handled by generative AI within the next 2 years, which of course is another boogeyman in the closet that people should be very, very worried about. Having their roles be replaced by generative AI, and the fact that a lot of companies seemingly are very much leaning in on the prospects and drinking the Kool-Aid so hard that they're basically shoveling money into a furnace at this point. And I'm just waiting for that damn bubble to pop, because when it does, it is going to be utterly glorious. But with all of that being said, though, let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comments below. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel. I'm aiming for 500 subs by the end of the year, and with all that being said, I do upload every day, so I'll see you guys tomorrow.